Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Jigglypuff Stan here. This is TPL week 5. I'm gonna do a live reaction to my video because I didn't actually record my voice during the match. I was having a lot of technical difficulties trying to stream and record at the same time. Every time that I was streaming, it would disconnect, so I had to tell my opponent, well, it has to be me because I'm the one streaming, and whenever I get back to the menu, it says that I'm disconnected from the internet, and he wasn't. So I told him that, if it happened 2 times in a row, then the 3rd time I would just stop streaming and we would play like normal. And that's what ended up working. Once I got off Twitch, everything worked fine. The battle ran smoothly. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of react to my own video here and maybe explain kind of like what my thought process was during the match. So I always lead off with Pangoro just because it's got the best matchup against most of his team. He's Choice Scarf to outspeed everything, including Frostlass. Well, outside of Rotom, if it's Scarf. Spoilers, it actually was Scarf. So I wasn't going to stay in against Rotom anyways. But at least I have a plan with Pangoro against his whole team. So I actually already know he's leading off with Incineroar. We already, said that we keep the same leads. We only got this far. We only showed our leads, and then we didn't actually click any buttons. So we didn't know what was going to happen after this. Alright, so I reveal to him that I'm Mold Breaker, and he reveals to me that he's Intimidate. I went Mold Breaker over Scrappy just because I knew that Knockoff would kill Frostlass, and I was clicking that more times than not. So here I'm just going to switch out directly to my Pyukumuku. So Pyukumuku pretty much walls this Incineroar here, and he goes for a Fake Out. So it does a little bit of chip damage, but I reveal to him that I have leftover, so I recover most of that back up. At this point, I don't know what kind of Incineroar set he is. I don't know if he's heavy duty boots or what, but I decided to risk it and just go for the Toxic, hoping that he would stay in and I would be able to at least get some chip damage and kind of scare the Incineroar away, because it does, if it's the offensive set, it does a lot to my team. So then he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. He's probably hoping that I switched something else in, but I decided to stay in and Toxic him. So we trade statuses here. Honestly, most of this match was kind of stally in the beginning, and then it really heats up in the middle. And then at the end too. Alright, so here I've got Baton Pass with Pyukumuku, so I'm able to see what move he wants to go for. Unfortunately, he goes for the one move I don't want him to click, which is Parting Shot, because that drops my attack and Spatak, which doesn't matter on Pyukumuku, but it does matter because I'm Baton Passing out to something else. But at least I'm able to see what he wants to switch into before I do. So I can at least pick a Pokemon that somewhat counters his Pokemon. So he goes into his Rotom Wash. And so then I Baton Pass out of here. It's kind of like a teleport, because Pyukumuku is so slow. It's like base 15. So I go here into my Peaches, Centiskorch, just because I kind of want him to Hydro Pump me. I want, Hydro Pump has like a low PP count, so even if he's max PP, it's 8. So I want him to waste a couple of Hydro Pumps, and plus I want to, going into Centiskorch with a minus attack, minus attack, it's not really great. So I'm going to switch back into Pyukumuku, and he's going to... Oh, he tricks. That's right. So he doesn't do what I wanted him to do. So I get his Choice Scarf, and he gets my leftovers, which is kind of unfortunate. Because it kind of... it makes it to where my Pyukumuku can only click one move. So here I just click recover, just in case he wanted to thunderbolt me or volt switch, just like he did there, and it does a lot. So I'll go ahead and recover up, and he volt switches out into Frostlass. So Frostlass is actually his new member on his team. He got rid of Surfetch, which I think Surfetch is really good. Paralysis can do some work. It's a really good tool. I think that's probably why he made this switch, because he knew that he needed another tool. He didn't need more offense. Oh, and then here I just forgot that I'm Scarf, so I decide that I need to switch out. Or I recover to see what he does. And staying in here was a mistake, because I kind of let him set up on me. He puts up Hail, and I don't know what Frostlass's other ability is, because with the Hail up, it was avoiding my attack, so it had to be some kind of like Sand Veil type of move or ability. Yeah, Snow Cloak. Yeah, so I didn't know this in the match at the time until I was using my Mamoswine, because I switched to Mamoswine here because I didn't want to keep getting that chip damage, and then he goes for the Aurora Veil. So at least with me being an Ice type, I don't get chipped by the Hail, and I can stall out his Aurora Veil. So I go for the knockoff just to knock off whatever item he has, and he goes for the Blizzard. And let's see, how much evasion? Because I miss every move. Yeah, so everything is not at 80%. So yeah, I missed 2 knockoffs. And then I wanted to go for a third one, but I know these blizzards are 100%, and it's already done enough to my Mamoswine. Mamoswine, unfortunately, has to stay alive because it can check Rotom and it can check Dracozolt. So I go back to Pyukumuku, just take another one, another blizzard here. But like I said, I'm not able to use my Pyukumuku to its best of abilities because of the Choice Scarf. So I have to decide between Baton Pass, Recover, or Toxic. I think I went for Miracle, just being cheesy, just to see if he would go for another Blizzard. But Blizzard's also another low PP move, so it's probably not the best choice. I probably could have gotten away with either a Toxic or a Baton Pass, just to keep the momentum up. But I did went for the Miracle, just to see if I could do something to it. But he switches out to his Rotom, which my Mirror Coat was useless, and I also reveal to him that I have Mirror Coat, so he knows not to probably throw these special attacks at me for free. But I figured he would click Volt Switch here, and then with my Pyukumuku. Oh, and then I also saw Aurora Veil was gone, so I decided to go ahead and switch to my Mamoswine here. Yep, and his Volt Switch doesn't work. So because Rotom is Levitate, I'm not able to touch it with a ground attack. But I figured I would at least knock off its leftover, so it would stop recovering the Hail damage. I wanted it to at least get some kind of chip damage. And at this point, I realized that it's the Ice Rock Frostlass, because this Hail has been going on for that should have been the 8th turn now. And so then here I just go for the Heavy Slam just to see what it would do. But it doesn't do much. And a new knockoff wouldn't do much either. But this Hydro Pump will take me out. I figured he'd probably try to go for the Hydro Pump again. He did miss that first one, so I got lucky there. But I was faster than it, so I at least got its item removed. And did something to it. So then here I decided to go, I think, yeah. I went into Grimmsnarl because this is how I'm going to set up. I'm going to throw in Grimmsnarl, and because he's got the eject button, he automatically, and he's Prankster, so he automatically gets up one screen. If he decides to hit me, then I get a free switch into my Gyarados, and then just start trying to sweep from there. So he goes for a T-Wave. And then the Paralysis comes out. So he reveals to me he's got that. And then at this point, I really thought to myself, I need to just taunt this thing because I don't want it just getting these free Paralysis on me. But then I remembered, well, if I taunt it, it's just going to Volt Switch and get rid of the taunt. So I figured getting both screens up would actually be better. And he does go for the Volt Switch. Luckily, the Paralysis didn't affect Grimmsnarl here. Alright, so I get out for free, and he gets out for free. And the only bad thing here is that, or he actually doesn't get out because he couldn't switch because of the eject button. So then here, Gyarados comes in. And I just Dynamax, and I go for the max Airstream. I think I was slower? I couldn't remember. Let's see. Oh, I know what it was. I had my calc pulled up, and it said I was 1 point slower if he was max Jolly. Or not Jolly, but you know, timid. So if it was max. But here he basically reveals to me that he's not max. And that wasn't enough to kill him. I should have went for the grass move. I mean, but you always want to be sure that you're faster. And he goes for the T-Wave. See, if he would have been faster, he would have gotten this T-Wave for free. But so he paralyzes me, so now I'm not faster. And he gets this Volt Switch, which actually is not good because he activates my Berry, and now he gets to switch in his Dracozolt. And because I'm paralyzed, I might miss, or not miss, but be unable to move. So here I'm just gambling. I'm gambling big time. Yep, Dracozolt, and it's shiny too. Yeah, so I'm immediately threatened by this thing, but luckily with this second Airstream, I'm back to normal. So the Paralysis has been, kind of balanced out with this 2 speed boost. So then I have the Max Quake, and I outspeed, and I don't get paralyzed. If I had gotten paralyzed right there, it would have been over. But luckily I get the Paralysis. I mean, I don't get the Paralysis, and I get to knock out his Dracozolt, which gives me the Moxie boost and the Spadef. Alright, so light screen wore out. As you can tell, this is a pretty even matchup. We're neck and neck. I think I've lost 1 Pokemon, he's lost 1. He's got 1 status. I've got 2 status. So it goes in Incineroar to intimidate me. And that brings me back down to normal. Yeah, so I have 1. I actually have 3 status Pokemon. So it's still 5-5. I go for the Waterfall here, but he goes for the Fake Out. Fake Outs are always pretty much free here. But at least he's poisoned, so they're not really free. He has to take a little bit of damage from that poison. So, like I said, we're neck and neck here. And I go for the Waterfall, and he switches out, which is a good move on him. His Berserker comes in. I should be writing down who knocks out who. So Because, you know, when you're in the moment, you can't be writing this stuff down. Gera kills Brickazult. And then here he kills Berserker. And that activates another Moxie boost, which gives me to +1. And I know the way he prepped, he definitely said he doesn't want this Gyarados sleeping him. Once it gets to +1, +2, +3, it just gets out of hand and there's not much you can do. Especially, even though I'm paralyzed, I kind of evened it out with the with the speed boost. And what did he kill on my team? Oh, he killed Mammoson. The Rotom killed Mammoson. Alright, and then I'm just going to spam Waterfall. It's my best move here. So I don't want to go for Bounce, a 2-turn move that will... it already has a chance to miss. And then plus 2 turns to get paralyzed. But here's the clutchest paralysis ever. I am happy. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that he clicks Destiny Bond and I click Waterfall, which would have taken us both out. But because I was paralyzed, it didn't work. So here, Gyarados is to kill Frostlass. And now I am +2 Gyarados. But he does get the hail off. I'm sure he was probably trying to get the Aurora Veil to cancel everything out. Alright, so his Hatterene comes out. And I'm just gonna click Waterfall. Maybe get a flinch or something. But he Dynamaxes. Actually, G-Maxes. I honestly forgot about his Dynamax. So I was like, I'm always shocked when they Dynamax. You know, it's like I always want a Dynamax, but then I forget, hey, your opponent can do it too. So he goes for the G Smite, and then kills. But he reveals to me that he's Life Orb, so he's taking a lot of chip damage. So here I decide, I think I went Sims first. Yeah, I went Sims first just to stall out the Dynamax. I mean, Sims is kind of useless to me at this point. Like, too slow and already hurt, burnt, no leftovers. So I just went for the Miracle just in case I survived. But the G-Max Smite will take me out. So Hat kills Pyukumuku. But again, I'm just trying to get as much chip damage off here. So the Hatterene is easier to deal with because Hatterene is obviously strong against most two members of my team. But we go Grimmsnarl here. Again, to just stall out this with a light screen. Alright, so 3 minutes left. Fortunately, the timer does get to us. Even though I'm clicking buttons as fast as I can, like I have a plan, I know what I want to do, and he obviously has a plan, and he knows what he's doing because I don't think it ever took longer than 20 seconds to click his move, and I don't think I did much either. So here I survive somehow, but I know my counter to the Hatterene is my Centiskorch because it resists the Fairy type moves. Not it's not Dynamax, you know, they're manageable. I can survive several of these while I set up. So it goes for the Dazzling Gleam. And then see, it does nothing. And then he's gonna get chip damage and Life Orb damage. And now I get to coil up for free. Man, if that timer wasn't there, we would have been able to finish it. That way there's like no question like what could happen. He goes for the Thunder Wave. This actually surprised me. I could not believe he ran Thunder Wave on, I think, 3 of his Pokemon. But I am Lumberry because I figured the only way you could stop this Centiskorch from setting up is to try to Toxic or Status it. And thankfully, I carried that Lumberry. So that cancels out his Thunder Wave. And now I'm at +1. I didn't really need the +1. Well, I needed it for who's coming up next. So now Centiskorch gets rid of his hat. Alright, and I am White Smoke. I just revealed to him. So he can't lower my attack. And if the battle would have gone on for longer, I probably would have coiled up again. But with the timer right there in my face, I was like, no, I can't do that. I need to just click buttons, just attack him, just get rid of him. That way there's no way that he could win based off of what was left, right? Because right now we're 3-2. Gyarados did a lot of work back there. That's what really saved me. Because if Gyarados would have went down to Dracozolt, then he would have still had Dracozolt, would have still had Berserker, he still would have had Frostlass. Luckily, Gyarados was able to take those 3 down and gave me a good lead here at the end. Because yeah, he still had his Dynamax left. And then here the battle ends. We get that last Leech Life, so Centiskorch gets to kill Incineroar. Alright, this is really weird that Pokemon does this like timer thing. It like says 0 now, and instead of like the battle ending right here, he gets to switch in his Pokemon. So let's just Rotom at red. I think a Hydro Pump could have knocked me out, depending on his set. If he was max, I think he was able to. But then see here, I get to click Leech Life, and then the game just tells me it's over and I win. So I win 3-1. Just barely scraped out of there. Like I said, the paralysis were huge. They just came in at the right times, you know, like to get paralyzed when he's about to click. You know, the Destiny Bond is huge. Not getting paralyzed against Dracozolt was huge. Even Berserker, you know, I could have gotten paralyzed right there, and that Berserker could have probably knocked me out. But yeah, again, good game to Daddy Joof, the New England Rotoms. I had to do everything in my power to beat them because, sorry, I hate the New England Patriots. So anything New England, I got to beat. And then on top of that, Trico, who's in my division, has been just putting a lot of pressure, beating all these really good teams. And so now we're both 4-1. I still lead the division, but only by a tiebreaker. So yeah, that was week 5. The TPL, a very exciting match. It came down to the end. Hope to give you guys another exciting match next week. I think we take on the Sinnoh Infernapes. So catch you guys later.